Killer monsters attack alien kitten, and then giant dragons emerge from the sky. The first time Ava saw the kitten, it was curled up on a broken piece of alloy plating, shivering in the twilight glow of the ruined alien city. Its fur shimmered in faint shades of violet and indigo, striped with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed softly like breathing light. Its eyes, too large for its small face, watched it with a mixture of fear and fragile trust. Ava had never seen anything like it, not in the dozens of alien ruins she and her crew had cataloged over the years. The world of Thrixia Prime had been abandoned centuries earlier. Scattered across its ravaged continents were towering spires of crystal and metal, long collapsed into rubble. Their expedition was supposed to be routine: explore, record, salvage anything safe. But when Ava knelt down, her helmet lamps catching the soft glow of the kitten, she realized the mission had just changed. "Captain?" Her brother Jalen's voice crackled through comms. "You seeing this too?" She nodded, forgetting for a moment that he couldn't see her expression behind the visor. "Yeah, it's alive, and it's scared." The kitten gave a faint chirp, so high-pitched it barely registered through her suit mic. Against all reason, Ava unsealed her glove and extended a bare hand. The kitten sniffed her fingers, then pressed its glowing head against her palm as if it had been waiting for her. That was the beginning. The monsters awakened. They brought the kitten back to camp. Jalen, skeptical but secretly charmed, fed it rehydrated protein mash. The creature devoured it hungrily, purring in strange resonant tones that vibrated the air. For a moment, the whole crew, battle-hardened explorers used to death in derelict worlds, felt an unusual peace settle around them. But Thrixia Prime was not peaceful. That night, their perimeter alarm screamed. Ava shot awake, snatched her pulse rifle, and ran outside. The jungle beyond their camp thrashed violently. Trees toppled. Shadows emerged, huge, hulking figures with spined arms and mouths that split open far too wide, dripping strands of corrosive saliva. "Killer beasts inbound!" shouted their technician Leora, scrambling to activate the defense turrets. The monsters were like nightmares given flesh. Six-legged, armored hides shimmering with chitin, claws sparking against stone. Their eyes glowed molten red as they closed in. Ava raised her rifle and fired. Blue bolts lanced into the night, striking the first creature's face. It staggered, but did not fall. The others surged forward, their screeches rattling the ground. The kitten, terrified, darted from Ava's tent. It stood frozen in the open, glowing brighter as if its body itself was calling for something unseen. The monsters shifted their focus to it immediately. "They're after the kitten," Jalen yelled, firing a sidearm. "No!" Ava sprinted forward, scooping the trembling creature into her arms. The monsters roared in unison and charged. For a moment, she thought they were doomed. The creatures were too many, too fast. Her rifle hummed dry. Jalen was dragged back by one monster's claw, barely saved by Leora's turret fire. The night was fire and chaos. And then, the sky tore open. The dragons descend. Light poured through the clouds like molten gold. From that brilliance descended shapes so massive the air itself trembled. Dragons. They were colossal, their wings stretching wider than buildings, scales gleaming in colors no human eyes had words for. Opal fire, liquid sapphire, radiant silver. Their roars cracked the heavens. The monsters froze, their screeches turning into low, fearful growls. One dragon descended directly above Ava, its wings casting her in shadow. Its head lowered, eyes like molten suns fixed on the kitten in her arms. Instead of attacking, it gave a sound, low, resonant, almost mournful. The kitten responded with a small chirp, its bioluminescent patterns flaring like a beacon. And Ava understood. These were not random predators and guardians of this planet. They were connected. The kitten was theirs. The largest dragon landed, shaking the earth. Its talons ripped craters in the soil. It exhaled a torrent of fire-white plasma that engulfed the advancing monsters, incinerating them instantly. The surviving beasts fled into the jungle, howling in terror. The battle ended as swiftly as it began. Smoke curled into stars. The dragons remained, their massive heads bowed toward Ava. What just happened?" Jalen whispered, stunned. "I think," Ava murmured, cradling the kitten, "we just found the child of gods." Secrets of the alien kitten. Over the following days, the crew cautiously studied the creatures. The dragons kept their distance but never left. They circled the camp at night, watching over the kitten. The bond between them was undeniable. Leora's scans revealed that the kitten carried a genetic signature almost identical to the dragon's, but younger, unfinished. It wasn't just a kitten. It was a dragonling, one that for some reason had been abandoned or separated. But Phrixia Prime's monstrous predators were drawn to it. Every night new waves attacked, as if determined to destroy the fragile life form. And every night, the dragons intervened, reducing the attackers to ash. Why are the monsters after it? Jalen asked one evening. Ava shook her head. Maybe they were engineered to hunt them. Maybe the old alien civilization bred these things as weapons against the dragons. The kitten mewed softly, curling in her lap. She stroked its glowing fur. Whatever the reason, it's our responsibility now. The lost history of Phrixia. The ruins held answers. While the dragons kept the camp safe, Ava led expeditions deeper into the alien city. They discovered murals carved into obsidian walls, depicting dragons soaring alongside smaller creatures, dragonlings, while monstrous abominations clawed at the edges. The story became clear. The Phyrexians had worshipped the dragons, perhaps even lived alongside them. But another force, maybe invaders, maybe their own hubris, created the killer monsters to challenge the dragon race. The war had ended in devastation, leaving the planet scarred. The kitten they had found was not random. It was a survivor, possibly the last of its kind to be born after centuries, a beacon of hope for a species thought extinct. And with it came danger, betrayal. Not everyone on Ava's crew agreed on protecting the kitten. Leora, practical to the point of ruthlessness, saw opportunity. This thing is worth more than any salvage, she argued one night. A living alien dragonling? The entire Union would pay billions. We'd be legends. It's not a commodity, Ava snapped. It's a child. It's dangerous, Leora countered. Every night more monsters come for it. Sooner or later, even the dragons won't be enough. And we'll die for something we don't even understand. Jalen sided with Ava, but that didn't stop Leora. The next night, while Ava slept, Leora slipped into her tent and tried to take the kitten. It woke, letting out a terrified cry. That single sound shook the air like a sonic pulse. The dragons roared from the skies. Leora froze as shadows descended. One dragon landed inches from her, its massive eye glaring. She dropped the kitten and scrambled back. The dragon did not kill her, but the message was clear. The bond was unbreakable. Ava woke to find the kitten trembling in her arms, its glow dimming. It trusted her still, but she realized how fragile that trust was. The final assault. The monsters did not relent. Each night they attacked in greater numbers, evolving, growing stronger as if learning from each defeat. Their leader finally appeared, a towering beast unlike the rest, covered in obsidian armor, with wings of shadow and eyes like burning coals. The dragons battled in the skies, but even their fire barely singed its hide. The planet itself seemed to quake as the war reignited. In the chaos, Ava realized the truth. The kitten was not just a survivor. It was a key. The Phyrexian murals had hinted at it. A dragonling song could awaken the full might of the ancient guardians. Without it, the dragons were weakened. With it, they could finally destroy the monsters forever. But the kitten was too young, too scared. Ava knelt, clutching it close even as firestorms raged above. "You're not alone," she whispered. "We believe in you. They believe in you." The kitten gazed at her, eyes wide with trembling light. Then, slowly, it lifted its head and let out a sound. Not a mew, but a song. The note resonated through the air, through the ground, through the very bones of the world. The dragons answered, their roars harmonizing with it. Together, their combined voices became a force of pure energy. The sky cracked open again, but this time not with fire, with light. Beams lanced down, striking the shadowed monsters. The great leader screeched, thrashing as its body dissolved into ash. The swarm collapsed, burned away by the union of dragon and dragonling. Silence followed. Smoke drifted. And then peace. The new dawn, when the dust settled. The dragons circled once more, but not as guardians bound by desperation. They landed around Ava and her crew, their immense heads bowed. The largest lowered itself until Ava could step onto its talon. It was offering trust, not just to the kitten, but to her. The kitten leapt from her arms, scampering up the dragon's talon and nestling into its chest scales. The parent gave a low rumble, soft and warm. Ava felt a lump in her throat. "You're going home." The dragons spread their wings. With a chorus of thunder, they ascended into the heavens, the kitten glowing brightly against its parent's heart. Jalen placed a hand on her shoulder. "We just witnessed history reborn." Leora, humbled, said nothing. The skies cleared. The monsters were gone. And for the first time in centuries, Phrixia Prime was quiet. Ava looked upward, toward the fading silhouettes of the dragons. She knew she would never forget the moment when killer monsters had attacked a fragile alien kitten, and when, against all odds, giant dragons had emerged from the sky to save it. And she knew this was only the beginning.